This is Mark Bell from SuperTraining.tv, Super Training Gym, the strongest gym in the West, answering more questions today for the Power Project, brought to you by HowMuchYouBench.net and ThePowerMagazine.com. We got a question from John Milanakis. It's actually, I'm not sure how you pronounce his last name, but I'm going to call him Milanakis. Remember Andy Milanakis? Anybody remember that show out there? That show was crazy. It didn't make any sense. Remember in the beginning of the show, he would say, I got peas on my head, but don't call me a pea head. I got bees on my head, but don't call me a bee head. Bruce Lee's on my head, but don't call me a Lee head. And he talks about pancakes on his face, making him happy. Life hands me lemons, I make beef stew. Anybody remember this guy? This guy was a freak. Anyway, if you don't remember him, YouTube him. Look him up on the YouTubes. Anyway, John Milanakis, his brother, has a question. And his question, he's a huge fan of the Power Project. Who could blame him? He's a huge fan of myself, Jesse Burdick, Brandon Lilly. Who can blame him? And he's interested in flirting around with the cube method. But he had some questions about kind of like trying to wave load within the cube method. So, those of you that are unfamiliar with the cube method is basically, it's a broken up conjugate system, where there's an extra day in there. It's a 4-day-a-week program. 1 day a week is devoted to assistance work. The other days of the week, you're utilizing the repetition effort method, the max effort method, and the speedy effort method, the dynamic effort method. And, what this guy's kind of asking is, in a typical conjugate system where you're doing 3 weeks in a row, you're doing these 3-week waves, they're called, you're going to use 50%, 55%, and 60%, and then you're going to start the wave back over. Well, in the cube method, invented by Mark Cuban, by the way, not Brandon Lilly, the cube method is going to be more broken up than that. You're not going to get to a dynamic effort lift maybe about twice a month or so. So you're not going to get to it as frequently. But could you wave load on that? You sure could. But I don't think it's anything to even bother with or to even worry about. I do think that you would like to become faster with heavier weights over a period of time. What I would suggest is almost like wave loading within the workout itself, using 50, 55, and 60% within the workout itself. There's been many athletes over the years, many coaches over the years, Charles Poliquin being one of them, who's been a big fan of wave loading within the workouts themselves. And you can go on a website called Google, and you can look it up on the interwebs. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the interwebs is for more than just porn. Yep. True story. Anyway, so I don't think it'd be a worthwhile thing for you to really worry about. What I would do is just, like I said, I'd kind of wave load within the workout itself. There's a lot of different ways of doing that. You could, if you're using chains, you could add chains every other set until you're done. You could add chains every set until you're done, until you pass out. You could add 20 pounds every other set. You just don't want to add a lot of weight because the intent of the day is to be fast. The intent of the day is to be violent and try to break a bunch of shit. And so you don't want to ruin the intent of the day by going too heavy. Also keep in mind, a lot of people get so attached to these numbers, these doubles that they have to do all the time. It doesn't always have to be done that way. You can do triples, you can do singles, so you can mix it up that way as well. So you can do doubles for 8 sets. You can do 8 sets of 2 with the same weight all the way through. Let's just say 300 pounds and 3 chains per side. You use the same weight all the way through, and then you could do a couple singles after that. You can handle 3 plates and a quarter. And then you can do 4 plates. And maybe 4 plates and a dime and a nickel, something like that, and then you're done. Something to get a little bit of an overload. The speed is still okay. The form breakdown is just getting there. You're just about to eat some shit, but the form is still pretty good. Remember, the intent of the day on speed day is to not only be fast, but you're also working on force, production, and form perfection, and that's a trademark of Jesse Burdick. I give him a shout out there. He was in New York partying it up, so I'm going to steal some of his terminology while he's gone. So those are my suggestions, and congratulations on the PRs. This guy said that since listening to the Power Project, he has put 164 pounds on his total, and that's the Power Project is all about, trying to empower you guys so you guys can become better, more betterist. Also, he said he got a 66-pound PR in his squat. So thanks to the Power Project Army, because you guys are the guys that keep this engine running and keep everything going. And thanks to the supporters of Power Magazine and the Slang Shot, because I can afford to do this and I can sit here and I can talk for hours on end, not making any sense whatsoever, and not even have to have a job. Anyway, I got to get going. I got to go eat some food. I got to go blow up another Starbucks bathroom, and that is it from supertraining.tv. Later.